Hello. Hello, hello. No rioting, please. Please remain calm. Hmm. Alright, guys, so let's take a look here. There's a few here, right, guys? You get to decide which semi-final we watch first. So, we have Tagada versus Paralon. And we have Zlo versus Yudi. Now, let me know which semi-final you want to watch first. Okay, we have one vote for Zlo versus Yudi. So Bryce, Fortet, Lex, Swagat, Kara, Carcass, Krezo, Bilan, Dan with the first over an hour ago. That's a lot of Zlo versus Yudi's. Hello, FHI. That's the second one from Swagat for Zlo versus Yudi. I'm only going to count that once. I don't see anyone saying Tagada versus Paralon. What's up, Brian? Yeah, we will, Bryce. Yeah, it depends on how long this game is, to be honest. Let me see. This match is best of 5. Where are we? Zlo versus Yudi. I have the games here. Yeah. Late night streamer. Indeed. Okay. Semi-final of Summer Invitational. Zlo versus Yudi. I just got an error trying to open the first game. Okay. Give me a sec. Let's open it a different way. See if it works. Ah, yes. There we go. I love having 2 clients. Because when one doesn't work, the other one will. Pretty often. Alright. So, game 1. Now, is anyone watching yesterday on FAF Live? So we have Zlo. They're both Seraphim. Zlo opening 2 Pigeon Factory mechs, 2 Pigeon Factory mechs for Yudi as well. Anyone watching yesterday? There was a Crazy Rush tournament on. And I was casting with Swackle on FAF Live. So I'll probably... yeah, I will put up a few videos from that stream, I think, on the channel. It was quite an interesting tournament. Quite an interesting tournament. Alright, so the first engine comes out, begins building power. Because he built the factory so far away, you can actually build this factory closer. So, like, say you build it here, then you can get, like, the engines out, and the ACU and the engines can work together pretty well. You can see how Zlo sets it up, though. Actually, let's do this. So you can still look at that. But, you can see here. So now he's probably going to stop building mexes. Yeah, there you go. So now that he builds a couple of PGens closer together, close to the ACU so that they can work together. And then he'll go back to building mexes. So Yudi's actually paused his ACU because, again, he's just going to be stalling. That's how Crazy Rush works. Because there's no walking distance, you can't actually really afford to build constantly with your stuff. That's also why people make PGens first. Okay, so Zlo gonna make quite a quick second air. He's got, well, actually not that quick. He's got what, 9 PGens? He's gonna go 11 PGens second air. Yudi has 11 PGens now. And he's gonna make second land, more PGens, third land, a couple of more PGens, fourth air. And he's got no scouts forward. Zlo has actually got a tank forward. And his tank and Celine have gotten 2 Celine kills. So Yudi has no intel now, and which makes it super risky to go fourth air. No intel, every engineer will... I mean, you could target any one of these engines and kill all of them with a bomber. And now... there you go. There goes all of his build power, and damages the tank, and kills the Celine as well. Jesus. Almost 400 mass killed with 1 bomb. And guess what? There's a second bomber now. PGens are the next target. There's 3 anti-airs out, so only 1 drop from the bomber. Potentially could have landed on PGen, but it still wouldn't have been enough. Here comes the first bomber. Oh, he targeted the wrong thing there, potentially. Or potentially not. He has 2 more bombers coming in. Oh my god. 12 PGens just went down. 12 PGens. All at once. Another NG goes down, more PGens are damaged. And no idea how this game could possibly continue after that much damage. Now looking at Zlo's base, obviously his base is not as developed because, well, it's as developed now at least. But he didn't have an insanely amazing base because he was putting a lot of build power into bombers and stuff, but I mean, at this point, if you lose that many engineers and that many PGens, there's no way the bombers didn't pay off. Like, holy shit, that was brutal damage. So 2 more NGs go down. No reason for Zlo to stop sending the bombers in, really. Oh, what a bit of micro there. Just a tick before the bomber dies, it gets the drop away. It kills 3 more NGs. Damages PGens once again. 3 more NGs go down and a radar. Every one of these bombers is crushing. And oh my god. The insane thing is that Yudi has 9.7k total mass. What's up, J Steel? But it doesn't really matter. There's what, 3 yeah, now he trying to react to his lack of build power. I'm sure he's overflowing. Yeah, of course he is. Oh, so all this mass that he's generated, a lot of it has been wasted anyway. Another NG goes down. 1-for-1 is not great for bombers, but again, he could just keep sending them in, and they're always getting something. Meanwhile, his base at the back here. Oh, he's actually added a second air factory for even more bombers. But yeah, at this point, he's just... Zlo is just massively ahead. 35 P-gens to 25. And... it's what, one low HP tank for Yudi. There goes his zoo he just made, and 2 more engineers. Another bomber comes in. I didn't see how much that killed. Maybe, is that 3 kills there? I think he may have gotten 3 kills, and now tanks coming in to raid even more engineers. One goes down, a second one goes down now. And the damage is never stopping. Another one. 3 engineers go down to that tank raid. And the damage Zlo is getting is incredible. 2 more engineers go down. 2 go down on the right hand side. And like, not only is Yudi losing all the engineers and he has to keep replacing them, he also has to replace the orders. So he's going Tech 2 land. But you can see he has to, like, okay, now this factory needs to be finished. And it powers the target now. Oh my god. What a beautiful ground fire. Jesus. The damage. The damage. That was some beautifully placed ground firing there. Zlo's base. Again, he's putting a lot of micro into the bombers, so his base is not as amazing as it could be at 8 minutes. And Yudi is just fighting on, like he just has like he's not going to capitulate because of all the damage. I mean, the damage is absurd, but he's not going to capitulate. He's going to make Zlo prove that he's in the better position. He's gonna fight on, keep rebuilding, he's not gonna stop. He's gonna say, okay, I'm gonna take damage, I'll just replace the NGs, I'll replace the orders. And I'll keep doing it until the game ends, or you have some kind of crushing advantage. And the pressure kind of stopped. I mean, that's a nice fight for Zlo on the left hand side. 3 bombers move in now. This bomber may not get a pass. Those 2 bombers got 1 kill. So that bombing run, you can see they're getting less effective. That was 3 bombers went in, 1 engineer went down in total. But a really nice tank raid at the back. More and more engineers going down. That guy had almost 200 mass kills. 4 kills on him. But Tech 2 land is up for Yudi. That is an advantage. He has Tech 2 land ahead of Zlo. Yudi trying to get some of his own raids in. That's a nice tank. Forces a PD. Zlo investing in static anti-air as well. Which is not a bad idea. Static anti-air quite good on this map. Oh! He just killed 7 more P-gens again. Yudi needs to stop rebuilding these P-gens all right next to each other. It is not worth it. He already has a second T2 land factory, which is nice. Zlo still not at Tech 2. He is making Tech 2 right now. It's about to complete. Yudi trying to make Tech 2 P-gen right now. I think he lost some more NGs to, including a Tech 2 NG to bombers. But Yudi has some inties now, which should help. Slow with the quite forward little PD, anti-air and radar, which is pretty good. Look at the damage the anti-air has already. Almost vetted, almost 300 mass killed, and it only costs 150. PD also has some nice kills, although it's not shooting now, despite there definitely being things in range. That is one of the worst bugs in FAF, actually. When PDs are in range of things and don't shoot. Oh, Slow! Slow not spending his mass at all. Never mind how much mass he is ahead, he's overflowing most of it. Does not have the power to spend it at all. Plus 100 and... Jesus. Slow needs to be queuing a lot more factories. Like, this one engineer building factories, that's not sufficient. Why are, like, all of these guys, you know, just it should be full factories covering the map at this point. So Slow not keeping up with the kind of build power you should have. Yudi making many mechs upgrades at the moment. He's got 2 T2 mechs, but he's got many more under construction and about to finish. He's struggling for power. Only 1 Tech 2 P-Gen. He's trying to go Tech 3 land. He definitely needs more Tech 2 P-Gens right now. Here's one building at the back. Also PDs back there to defend. It's nice to have those PDs there, because you'd never want to see a run by come through here and get to the power. So it's very good to have the Tech 2 power there, protected by PDs. First Tech 2 P-Gen goes up for Slow. You can see he's just dragged a line of them, which is not great for pathfinding. But it works. It's quick. And the real problem is he can't spend his mass. He just cannot. He's also not making any mechs upgrades at the moment. Nor is he really building many mechs. But he has got some in the expansion. What's up, Mark? How's it going? Ilshi goes down on the front. Bombers being used in the front line now that the base is much less accessible. There is a static flak here as well that just minces bombers before they can actually get a pass, because as you go up in anti-air you actually get more range. So if you look at the... Oh wait, it actually has the same range as Tech 1. Okay, so it's the SAM, it's only the SAM that has more range. I thought the flak had more, but it doesn't. It has the same range. However, it will kill bombers instantly. Just make War 2 on mechs. Yeah, but you see, when you upgrade the Tech 2 mechs, you get 4 mechs discount from adjacency. Also, it's much easier to click a mechs upgrade. Takes less APM. Takes a lot of APM to queue up Tech 1 mechs, and also they have more health, so they can't be killed as easily by bombers and things. And it enables you to eco faster and with less APM. And yeah, it doesn't cost the full amount. You get a lot of adjacency. So T2 mechs are really good on Crazy Rush. Much better than normal. Yeah, you can see what the flak can do to the bombers. Not many drops coming in from that horde of bombers, but enough to get some very nice kills on Tech 2 engineers that are trying to build some artillery. One RT goes up, radar goes down, PD is damaged. Second RT is denied, so he's going to have to replace all those high-tech NGs, which means he's going to have to use the support factories to do so. Still, you can see that Slow is just all over the map. He's just taking so much space. He doesn't have so much in the middle, but the sides are all his. TML going up. And how many Ilshis do we have? 35 Ilshis. Quite a lot of Thams as well. And Zlo has been able to now spend his mass. I think he's just not ecoing as much, so he's caught up. But he has 471 income, which is about 100 more than Yudi. So Yudi's still quite far behind, even though he has a lot of Tech 2 mexes. And he really doesn't have the same amount of space. The space is really lacking for him. He's got Tech 3 land, though. Tech 3 NG comes out, so he might try and get a P-Gen back in the back of his base somewhere where it should be pretty safe. I don't think he'll invest in a SAM. Oh, he's making the P-Gens over here. It's a very exposed position, so I'm kind of surprised that he builds it there. If we look at his PDs are the only thing really giving him space. He cannot afford the static shields that he's making. So this power stall is actually devastating because his PDs can't see. His PDs can't see ahead of them to actually use their range. And this right side, at any moment, Zlo could send units in this direction and the T3 P-Gen will go down. I'm very surprised he built it there instead of over here. This seems like the best position, as he actually has a lot of PDs to defend on that side. And he's actually made 2 SAMs as well. And yeah, Zlo making moves on the right hand side. And on the left, he's able to get way closer than he should be because of the lack of power, the power stalling. Tech 3 P-Gen goes up though. And Yudi is just full survival mode. Look at those lines of PDs. How to gain space on Crazy Rush. PD creep out of your own base when you're behind. That's a strategy. It's not what you'd like to do. Oh, TML's flying in towards this position. The shield tanks one of them. And only 11 Ilshis for Yudi, so he's heavily reliant on PDs to keep him alive. A lot more mexes queued up again. A lot of... Look at the air factories. Some of them Tech 2 as well. Notha's coming out. And if he gets a good group of Nothas, he can fly over the anti-air through the SAMs, and I mean he's going to need quite a few Nothas, but he can target some of these Tech 2 mexes that Yudi has. Zlo's eco continues to grow. He's at over 600 mass income now versus 500 mass income, so a big difference there. And yeah, the Nothas are gathering. Tech 3 land is up, and a chicken bot started, but then Zlo decides that he doesn't really have the mass for that. He would rather make artillery. He doesn't want... Oh yeah, the artillery from Yudi has gone down. He doesn't want Yudi to get an artillery base going. He wants to have artillery ready to deny what Yudi's going to build. It's the T2RD is just so strong on Crazy Rush. It's all about taking as much space as possible, and you can see how good T2RD is on Crazy Rush because he builds it, you know, a bit in front of his base, and it reaches into the base of Yudi already, who is already heavily constricted. So if he gets the artillery going and they're in multiple positions, the only problem for Zlo is that they're not shielded at all. But if he I think at this point he has so much economy that, wow, over 100 Ilshavo, almost 40k mass in Ilshis. I think that artillery can simply just win the game. I don't think Yudi can fight it off. Seems very unlikely. And also, if Zlo just sends all of the Ilshis in, I mean, there's 47 PDs. I feel like the Ilshis will just run over or do so much damage that everything can be cleaned up afterwards. I feel like he could just run in, but now there's some Othams as well. Look at the Nothas. Yeah, what's up, Mosey? You can make a template that's just T1 mexes. I think somebody has done that, Mosey, actually. I've never tried it, but apparently it works. Now, one thing I see for... I mean, this is insane. That's 32 Nothas, 37 Nothas. They're being built so fast. There's 18 Tech 2 support factories for air. One thing I don't see from Yudi or from Zlo is PD. Actually, he's got this expansion quite well built. This expansion quite well built. This one is huge. You can see that the Crazy Rush script can't catch up with Zlo's expansion. He's made no Tech 2 mexes as well, by the way. And only his first Tech 3 Pigeon now, which is quite crazy. He's made a lot of Tech 2. Now, maybe... Oh, he's doing it. He's pushing. He's actually losing his artillery on this side. Does not have shields again. Does not have shields, so... Oh my god, he got absolutely minced in this position. But the right hand side, this is the danger area for Yudi. He's losing. Oh, he has Tech 3 Pigeons, actually replacement ones over here, but he's gonna lose. He's already lost 2. Slow just pushing in, doesn't care that there's 20 PDs here. He's just running in, and he's gonna kill another P-Gen, and that P-Gen actually takes out almost all the T2 PD there at the back line. And he's just pushing through. Will he? I don't think he can reach the HQ, but he still has 15 or 20 Ilshis here. The shields are probably going to be blinking on and off after losing so many Tech 3 Pigeons. That's the Omni, but the PDs, well, they've melted all the Ilshis now, and the Autumns have as well. A few Autumns helping, even the ACU getting a few shots in. Here come the Nathas. The absolute scourge of Nathas, just targeting artillery. Look at those, they're in between shields. That's so sad. For Yudi, the artillery being targeted, the PDs being targeted. It doesn't make much sense to target PDs for me after sending all of the Ilshis in. The artilleries are a great target. Oh! Ground firing in between Tech 3 Pigeons. This one is somehow protected by the shield. It's just over the halfway point. Oh, the shield's dropped now. But that Pigeon survives. That Notha didn't drop. More Nothas coming in. The Pigeons are the obvious target. There's so much static flak though. Did any of them drop? I don't think a single... Oh, that Notha dropped, but the shields blink on. The Notha bounces off. That Pigeon survives. So look at that's... Yeah, the static flak is really good, but it's nothing compared to the SAMs. Look at the damage these SAMs have. 4k mass. And they have so much range and splash that they're actually able to kill the Nothas before they drop. More Tech 3 Pigeons coming thick and fast. Where's the Notha for, or the chicken for Zlo? Is he ever gonna build that? Yudi is building a chicken. I mean, that was started, and then everything was sent in after Yudi. Now Yudi's gonna have... I mean, he doesn't even need to build mexes anymore, it feels like, because he has... Like... What is that? 67,000 mass on screen right now. Maybe the stuff at the front he can't get. Like this, which maybe is like 30k mass across here. 20 to 30. But, more artillery coming up. He has 10 arties again, which is quite insane. I mean, Zlo not really able to get forward with his arties, and also lacking mass. Well, somehow he's spending all his mass, and he has 1,000 mass income. Still has Thams for some reason, and he's making just a lot of Authams versus tons of Tech 2 PD. The main thing that Yudi has is Tech 2 PD and Tech 2 artillery, and he's making a lot of chickens. He's making a lot of Authams. Bit strange. How many chickens does Lo have again? You can see how many he's making. He has over 100 again. He already sent 100 in, and now he has over 100 once again. I don't understand why he keeps making them. That's probably why he has no mass to spend while he has 1k mass income. Really needs to... Oh, unit cap hits low, and he hits the control K button on all of his Tech 1 P-gens. Maybe that's why he sent everything in. Oh my god, I bet you that's why he sent everything in. Because he hit unit cap. I guarantee you that's why he sent all those chickens in. Which is hilarious, but I know it's low, and I would put money on that being the reason he sent those in. Right, Zlo splitting up the Natas a bit more, but still, look at the shielding. And he lands maybe 1 bomb, maybe 2 bombs on the P-gens. Meanwhile, Chicken getting close to completion. A lot of Tech 3 engineers building that. Yudi, how many Tech 2 mechs does he have? 100 Tech 2 mechs. Yes, you heard that right. Also, his income is huge and his reclaim is massive as well. He's now adding snipers in. Something Zlo could have done. Oh my god, here comes the push. How many PDs do we have? We have 59, but a lot of them are on the right hand side, which may not come into play for the most part. And the chicken finishes just as Zlo begins to push in with all of these Othams and chicken bots. Oh my god. Zlo and Yudi probably should not be running in here. I think he needs to stay put and just keep blasting these units. The PDs, more PDs under construction, trying to defend the base. The chickens get in, and if they get in under the shields and target down the generators from inside, that's gonna bring them down instantly. There's just so many chicken bots that he's actually breaking through. He's gonna take out this P-gen, which kills everything around it. More chickens in under the shields, targeting the P-gens. Look at the amount of Ilshi fire on these Tech 3 P-gens, and they're right next to each other, so they will chain react. So many of them going down. And this is devastating damage. The chicken bot also goes down in front of the base. More Tech 3 P-gens under construction to replace the huge losses on the left hand side. So much of Yudi's economy just went down. Even Tech 2 P-gens going down as well. And the scariest thing is that Zlo is going to have another wave ready to barrel through once again. He has 63 chickens, and the Otham count is getting way scarier than the chicken count. 44 Othams. Those need to be gathered together. And Yudi overflowing mass like crazy now, unsurprisingly, given what he's lost on the left hand side. And he's just going to try and replace these P-gens. He's lost the defenses on the left hand side crucially as well, so those are going to have to be replaced. The PDs, the SAMs, very importantly. So now maybe the right hand side will be the next point of attack for Zlo, or will he gather again on the left hand side and just push there, because a lot of power is going to be replaced over there. Who knows? What is Zlo's approach here? I mean, you feel like he could easily just make an Awasa. He has over 1,000 income. He's not really ecoing anymore. Building Tech 1 mechs also will take up your unit cap, so that might not be the best approach. What is this? 34? He just wants to win with units. A few MMLs. MML's just on attack move. I think that's probably the best thing he can make out of the... Wow, that's a lot of Tech 2 factories. But if he just attack moves the MMLs in, he's going to take out a lot of PDs. Look at this. Because although the artillery can take out the MMLs, I mean, he can just build so many of them that there's no way he can really stop the... Oh my god. So many Natas invested. 2 P-gens go down. 2 P-gens only. Those are TMLs flying as well. at the same targets, which are already dead. No TMD. Well, there is some TMD, but I mean, you're not going to have the TMD to defend against MML spam. Oh, T3 Pigeon goes down at the front while it was under construction. This chicken wreck, not grabbable, really, for Yudi, but mass is not the issue for him. The issue is rebuilding after every subsequent attack. How many units is Low going to make before he sends his Autumns in? Well, we have our answer. 125 is how many. My god, that's a lot of Autumns. Over 100,000 mass in Autumns has just been shift G'd to the back of Yudi's mass extractors. I don't like the shift G move, because look at the pathfinding is absolutely dire, so I think the shift G is just really a bad idea for these guys anyway. Look at the kills on the PDs. But they're going to get into range sooner rather than later, and there's no shielding at the front, which means PDs are going to drop fast. The Autumns have a huge DPS. And the waves are coming. Zlo finishes a chicken bot. Finally, he builds that T4 that he queued up a long time ago. Yeah, the Autumns, there's just too many of them. There's just too many of them. He's gonna break through on the right hand side and kill these defenses and the P-gens and get into the mexes. On the left hand side, chicken bots alone getting into range. They just have enough HP to get in there. Look at the Autumns. There's so many dead Autumns. My god. But it doesn't matter. There's 125 of them sent in. And now a chicken bot at the front, and there is no experimental from Yudi. The chicken arrives at the right time after a lot of the defenses have already been dealt with. Now it can just burst through, and this will be the end. So we'll finally take the win. Awasa under construction. I don't think he should have any Tech 1 NGs at this point. He should be full Tech 3 NGs. That's one thing definitely lacking in Zlo's base, but my god. So this is just a massacre. Brutal. Oh, Notha's after the ACU. But Yudi has already quit. He actually had double nano and he was getting sniped by Nothas. that might have been the first ever double nano Notha snipe. He actually retreated the chicken bot. Yudi was playing a survival game. Game totally not decided the first 1 minute. GG, well played. This is one of the things that Zlo says where it's funny that people say that the game is decided in the first 1 minute, but the game goes on for 30 minutes. But he also says that, I mean, they're not actually wrong. It's just funny that that's how it is. This is definitely one of those cases where, I mean, we saw the damage from those bombers. For example, I mean, the first bomber that came from Zlo it got 400 mass killed almost in one pass. And then we saw so many pigeons go down. How do you stop the first bomber? Well, you have to be ready. You have to know, like Yudi did nothing. He was just ready there waiting to lose to a bomber. He had all of his build power in the one position. As I said before it came in, you could target. They were so close together that you could target any of the NGs, and you would kill all of them. So you have to have some kind of scouting. You have to have a scout on the map to see it coming, or a tank and a scout, or multiple scouts. And then you have to dodge and make your anti-air and stuff. But static anti-air, no. I mean, like, if he had static anti-air, he still loses all of his NGs because they're in the one position, and he won't see the bomber coming. But the main point is that you can't lose all your NGs. You have to be able to see the bomber coming and split. And yeah, you're going to lose some stuff, but will 2A kill a bomber before it drops? 2 mobile anti-air in front can do that, but then the guy can send the bomber around. So that's no good. I mean, anti-air is good, but it doesn't solve all your problems. There's no easy way to solve everything. What's up, Basher? How's it going? Bonjour. Buongiorno. Alright, that's game 1. Quite a nice game 1. Ooh. I like the look of this second map. Haven't seen it in tournament yet. All good, good. Good to hear. The AC is stuck in the max field. There's no dodging ever. Yeah, that's very true. Alright, Bermuda Locket. Now, I'm gonna say that this is a good map for Zlo to get here. I feel like Zlo picked this one and Yudi picked the previous one. At a guess. I'm trying to think now. Yeah, because I think Zlo was second in his group and Yudi was first. I think that's how the picks work. But I'd be surprised if it was the reverse way. Would have won if he was UEF. Why? Yudi is 100% not going to get bombed to death again. Well, okay. Alright, Aeon. Aeon? Why Aeon? So when someone makes a pick like this, you have to think that they have a plan. I mean, Cybran... Well, whatever you pick, you gotta have a plan, but Shards is the plan, maybe. How do Shards do against Cybran frigates, though? I feel there isn't really a standout faction on this map, which is the case for most 20x20s. Is this map popular in the FAF community? It's a classic map. It's a classic 1v1 map. Very well known. Played millions of times. It's and sometimes played in 2v2, or even I've played some other team games on this map. So it's a classic map. It's a GPG map, so it's an original Forged Alliance map. Or wait, is it Forged Alliance or vanilla? I'm not sure. I think it might be Forged Alliance. But yeah, it's basically everyone complains about every map though in this community. Yes, exactly. That's very true. That is true. So Yudi is as you can see here, he's like assisting the land factory to get more build power out. The thing about this map is, well, the main thing is that there's a lot of reclaim. And there's basically no trees as well to get in your way as you try and reclaim them. So here you can see Zlo builds 1 mex. Yudi only built his 2nd mex now. So they really delay the mexes because the mexes cost power. They don't really cost much mass at all. But they cost power, and you'd rather use that power to build P-gens and a factory and a transport. And instead of building mexes, you grab reclaim. For example, this guy grabbing a big chunk of mass over here. This guy grabs some big chunks of mass in this area. And I remember Zoc had a build on this map where it's kind of It's very interesting. He basically doesn't. He stays very central. He doesn't expand at all, except with the transport initially, and only then does he walk to his expansions that are actually directly next to him. So Zlo has rushed to an Inti, and he is being out microed by Yudi on the right hand side. Now Zlo has his own transport over here landing with looks like he has a lab on board. And yeah, Zlo got heavily out microed there actually. Now he takes shots from Yudi's Inti. Yudi got all of the dropping that he actually intended to get, even though there was an Inti on his transport. Now this lab from Zlo is a really sneaky tactic, where he builds the lab from his main base. Oh, he denies the factory. Now I'm wondering if there was some kind of, was there some micro possible for Yudi there to actually finish that factory? I'm not sure. Maybe not, but those are two huge kills. So the Inti fails in its job, but the lab picks up the slack. Shards need radar. Interesting idea. And now Yudi's going to drop back there with the 3 NGs. This was spotted, however. Oh, he builds a lab. He builds an NG first out of this. Now he builds an Aurora. The Aurora will take out the lab. Hopefully. Unless he dodges. No, he doesn't. And Yudi drops back here to finish this factory. I'm not sure if he should have done that. I don't think he should have dropped 3 NGs back there. I think dropping 1 back there would have been good, because this factory is like 94% completed. But I think he should have left the other ones in the front position to build the factories, because on this map you rather have, for Yudi, he'd rather have his most of his build power down here, closer to the enemy. And Zlo certainly is going to rather have most of his factories on the top side rather than the bottom, because again, it's closer to your enemy. And okay, so Zlo had a lab on both sides, and the one on the right hand side didn't find any NGs on the dropping because there weren't any. But he runs into this expansion. As if he pays attention here, he could have gotten a very nice kill and denied a factory again. Yeah, the frigate is the intel boat, by the way, guys. It has you see the icon on the air scout here? That's the same icon on the frigate. So the frigate is actually the intel boat. Zlo still has not built this mech in his base. Now I said, you know, you'd rather get some factories and P-gens and stuff, but at this stage it's really a bit silly to not have that mech, so I'm gonna say. Can't remember the name. Of what? The frigate? Cybran Trident is the frigate. Yeah, but Shard also can't shoot anything out of the radar. Yeah. No, I understand totally. I was just saying that it's funny that frigates have the intel icon, basically. T2 Cybran? Salem? Destroyer? I don't know what you're trying to... Oh, the Mermaid is the stealth boat. Whoa, look at the macro on Yudi. Way ahead. He has 1,000 power and it's nowhere near enough. That's how good his macro is. His mass gathering is. He's actually making... Oh, that's why he was stalling power. He's actually assisting his Tech 2 air upgrade. Very common to go Tech 2 air on this map. And get that T2P gen up quickly. He still needs more power, but you can see he is adding some extra Tech 1. Oh yeah, it has a CI18, yeah. It's got a prefix, some kind of code prefix. Zlo making a lot of power in his expansion. And for Swifties, I guess, I was thinking that that's the plan. Is he just going to... He likes... Well, certainly Yudi likes the Destroyer of Aeon, as we all should, because it's really good. A lot of HP, a lot of damage. Not having anti-air is not the worst thing. But yeah, Swifties seem like the play. I think we're going to see quite a lot of Swifty production. Air very useful in this map. Since this map where energy is so valuable, wouldn't T2 land for the first T2 gen not be better? Yeah. Well, the thing is, you're going to have more energies in your core base, and you don't really want... You could make T2 land in your core base first before air, but you want T2 air anyway, and you probably don't really want Tech 2 land in your core base. It's not that useful in terms of the units you get, so... Yes, it's a lot more energy intensive to build a T2 air factory. You can see here 18,000 power. A Tech 2 land factory is basically half the energy cost, but the land cost is more mass, which although you have a lot of mass, it's still more mass. It doesn't mean mass costs are irrelevant. And yeah, the units you get out of the T2 land factory are not quite as useful, I guess. Drop into this expansion just as a PD actually finishes for Yudi. And he actually has some Aurora and stuff here as well, so well defended. A bit late for that drop to come in, to be honest, but Zlo has a really nice forward position on this area. And on this side now, he has a very lonely looking ACU, so it's pretty dangerous where he is right now. Very little land production supporting that commander. Now in terms of navy, only 5 naval factories and no more under construction for Yudi. Zlo with huge naval production. He's got 6 here, more on the way, and he's got 4 more over here as well. Not all of them switched on, but most of them. Needs to, but he's actually behind the navy though. He's just added a lot of production in a very short space of time. His kill ratio is absolutely appalling. Below 0.6. And Yudi's is huge, so Yudi been getting amazing trades in different positions. I think in the navy he's getting good trades. I mean, this is going to help his kill ratio. Look at that, 2. He's gone over 2.0. And that's crazy. Yeah, a lot of Tech 2 air production, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of Swifties for Yudi, that's for sure. Time for another Tech 2 P-Gen right now, as he is ecoing pretty hard. Well, actually no, he's not ecoing that hard. He's actually more focused on getting the units, which is good because you can very easily over eco versus Zlo. Zlo allowing production to die here behind his back as he's actually using a 2-lab ghetto to fight back against the Aeon frigate menace. That's absurd, but that's Zlo for you. He's about to lose another factory. Yudi should definitely finish that off. But his units are auto-attacking frigates. Oh, you don't want to stack your frigates like that because frigates have AoE. So that you're going to take double the damage there if you have 2 units on top of each other. Zlo still has actually a similar number of Tech 2 mexes, just in different positions. He cannot get his... He keeps getting out microed in the navy, I gotta be honest. Like, how is Yudi finding these trades? Zlo out of position with his navy, and he's so out of position with his navy that he may allow Yudi to get to Tech 2 navy. He's about to reach it, when in reality Zlo could be on top of this naval production. So I think some bad naval moves are in trouble, some bad navy moves are gonna get Zlo into trouble here. So I mean, he still does have a good position here though. In terms of the land, he simply has more map control. And now he has a ton of frigates, and Yudi's going straight for a destroyer. Now, he only has 9 frigates and he's in full retreat. Zlo rushing in. He's got 27 frigates total, but on the front line he's got 15 that he's going to be sending in. They do have the best frigates, it's true. Cyber Navy do have the best frigates, and Zlo is trying to take full advantage of that. He needs to run in here and start crushing this production. And what is the micro? What is going on? He's retreating now. This is not the time to retreat, Zlo. This is not the time to retreat. He sees that there's Tech 2 Navy. What that means is you need to move in now. Nice use of the Medusa against the Aurora and also the bomber. So, but Yudi not investing in a huge army of Aurora. So, he's actually gone to Tech 2 land. He's got a lot of Tech 2 support factories in this area. So, there's going to be flak. There's the HQ, as usual, built in the expansion. Zlo does not want to allow another destroyer to come out. The first one is here. It's taken a long time because Yudi does not have fantastic mass balance, or he didn't at that point. I think actually just as... yeah, you can see now that the naval factory is not building anything, his balance is still basically at 0, but once he was building it was very low. Zlo has 0 intel. Yeah, but I mean, he has lots of air units. Look at all the scouts. He could definitely have pushed in there. And there's no excuse really for not having intel. He also has some nice reclaim left in this position. But he's just allowing Yudi to build better naval units and not using his advantage. Even now, Zlo has the units to crush the Navy. He has the units. 10 frigates and a destroyer will not beat 32 Cybern frigates. He has to move in. He has to move in. And the longer it goes on, the more... I mean, Yudi's going to have better and better units. He's going to have more destroyers. And Yudi is actually gaining space. So as Yudi moves out here and Zlo moves back, this is great for Yudi, because Yudi is pushing him further and further away from destroying the production. And that's really what Zlo needs to do, is destroy the production. Now, this drop was really nice, killing some mexes. It's one of the things you can do with artillery on this map, is land them behind these ridges in the expansion, and also even behind the main base, and then the artillery are quite hard to kill. Now if Yudi overextends though, he leaves himself wide open to an attack, and sometimes you can bait your opponent into attacking you when you really don't want them to. And this could be the critical moment here, because the destroyer, its pathing getting absolutely fucked by the Cybern frigates. He's going to lose this destroyer now, and at that point will Zlo take his chance and start moving in and kill the naval production. Zlo himself under pressure from land now, as T2 land comes in with the Auroras. There's also Tech 2 Navy though for Zlo. Now his navy is in a... kind of risky to put it there, because there's no TMD to defend, so there could easily be a TML in this position that would kill that naval HQ. Although the same is really it's really the same for Yudi. He could get TML'd, but neither player investing into that. Look at the number of air units that Yudi has. I don't understand what this investment has actually gotten Yudi though, because there's been no attack on the right hand side, for example, where he could easily do a huge amount of damage with gunships. There is no anti-air, there's no Tech 2 land to make flak either. So the Swifty investment seems like a big waste to me. Similarly, I don't understand why Zlo refuses to win Navy. I don't get it. Is there gonna be another tech switch from someone? Yudi also has been using his commander really well. He's just pushing out and gaining more space. He can do this pretty safely because he has Tech 2 land. He's not facing Tech 2 Navy just yet, but now that I say it, the Armada is pushing now. And actually now he will be super vulnerable. He has to make a beeline back to his base, because Zlo has picked his moment to win the Navy. And the time is now that he has some Tech 2 ships in there. He's got a cruiser, he's got 2 destroyers, and this ACU is going to be really vulnerable to Tech 2 if he does not get back to the base safely behind some of this terrain. This is the moment. Zlo has waited a long time to do this, but now he picks his moment and says, time to win Navy. And look at how many extra frigates he has. Like, all of he built so many frigates that really won't be needed to do. They won't be needed for much at all. The destroyers are here. Gonna finish off that destroyer of Yudi's. And Yudi calls GG. And by the end, although Yudi had a mass advantage for quite a while, and even at the end he had a 2k mass advantage, he even had a kill ratio advantage until I think pretty much the last. I think the naval battle switched it entirely. But there's a lot of things that went wrong here, actually. I think Yudi made some serious mistakes. For one, he allowed Zlo to have this position and this position, and obviously these are mirrors, and if your opponent has both of those, they have more map control. The next thing is that Zlo had the better naval units. So Zlo made a lot of Cybern frigates. They're just better than the Aeon frigates. And Yudi, the biggest issue is he made so many Swift Winds, and I really saw no abuse whatsoever of his air control. He didn't do artillery drops into the base. He didn't gunship the entire expansion, which could have certainly been done. If you take out 10 of these Swifties, and then you have, I don't know, how many gunships would you get for that? I mean, you get what, 8 gunships maybe? 7 or 8 gunships, and you do a lot of damage. Maybe you kill the naval production, maybe. There's a lot that could have been done. Also, why not use blazes in the navy to bolster your defenses there? Maybe a Tech 3 air switch, or just a lot of torps. I don't get it, but yeah. So I think Yudi made some strategic errors there. Huge damage on this cruiser, by the way. Over 5k mass killed. And Zlo's 2-0 up. So he takes a 2-0 lead against Yudi in the semi-final. Well played to Zlo. I mean, Yudi made some mistakes there. But it was quite a good game, and I thought it would be a good map for Zlo. What's up, Thomas? Love overbuilding Swift Winds. It's a classic move. A classic move. Alright, so every map we play here has to have more mass than the last, and we're on the ditch. Is investing in T2 land a mistake? No, I don't think it's really a mistake. Well, no, I think the 40 Swift Winds were the mistake. The land is actually useful. Like, but he could have used it differently, I guess. I mean, he could have left out the Tech 2 land, but he did actually make up some ground on the left-hand side with it. It's up certain depth. Okay, so they're both UEF here. Since Riptide's getting buffed was quite a nice buff for UEF on various maps with hover potential, and this is one of them. Just gave them another option. In the past, you could never really make Riptides because they're just too expensive and not good enough. They have bad range, bad health, and were expensive at like 360 mass. They're very expensive as an Ilshi or an Obsidian. Wouldn't Aeon or Sarah be preferable for hover shenanigans? I mean, Aurora, no, are not going to give you anything here in terms of their hover. Zooies are Zooies. They're maybe the best unit in the game, so they're always good. But there are also faction vetoes, so I don't know what they banned, but the hover on this map is more about T2 hover because you have so much mass, and yeah, it's more about the T2 hover. I mean, for Seraphim, what's nice is you have the Enzines and you have hover flak. Aeon, you also have hover flak and hover shields and blazes. So they're all definitely every faction has their hover capabilities. I mean, Cybern has their amphibious capabilities as well. Can early bomber to kill the NGs making power or NG reclaiming at the back work on this map? I don't see why not. I mean, look, people are going to be making bombers on this map, you'll see. Like, that's a lot of air factories planned for Yudi. They're not all making inties and scouts. I mean, it depends on how early you mean with the bomber, because it is 20 by 20, so it takes a really long time to get across the map. And it's very risky because your bomber could simply get shot down. Or scouted or not really do much. Yeah, that's the downside of Aeon, definitely, that they don't have their tank is not amphibious. Unlike the Otham Brick and Percy, the Harb can only go on land, which is a bit of a downside. It's definitely a downside on this map. This is one of the only maps where it's a big downside, actually, but it does matter here. I mean, the Blaze, I don't think there's anything wrong with the Blaze compared to Riptide or Yenzine. I quite like it. But you see, if you have a proxy and you get to Tech 3, then the no amphibious Tech 3 doesn't matter so much. So if you play it in a certain way, then the lack of amphibious Tech 3 is kind of okay. So they both have their... Well, no, Yudi does not have a transport yet. There we go. He's built it, and also Zlow's transport is spotted, by the way. Here's Yudi's scout plane seeing it, and Zlow is planning to go where exactly? Yes. Okay. Yudi going to the bottom. That's pretty conservative. Dropping here and here. Zlow, I don't know why he builds a mechs, but he does. I love how he builds that. That's the first, that's maybe the second mechs he builds. Core mechs he doesn't build because he wants all of his NGs grabbing trees or building power or building factories. So bomber from Zlow on the crazy attack move all over the place. One NG in this position as well, just gonna spam factories. So basically what you do on this map is you build factories and then you attack move them here and you build more NGs, and then you just grab all the reclaim with NGs and stuff. And then if something comes and attacks you, you can build some anti-air or whatever. As long as you have build power, you can react to things. That's the thing with build power. Oh, bomber spotted. And you do not want this NG denied before it gets that factory up. If it gets the factory up, you should be okay. You should still be able to secure the location. You may have to redrop though. Oh, bomber overhead in this position. Yudi splits his NGs. He already has one factory up, so it's unlikely he'd be completely denied, but with a second bomber coming in, it is possible to kill everything here, but now two factories are up, so it should be fine for him. That NG actually was just about to be finished and it goes down. Yudi in this position, attack moving and not reclaiming, which means he probably has plenty of mass anyway. Should probably add more factories there. I don't think having one factory in the expansion is really all that good. Multiple transports in the base, another one under construction, a lot of air factories building, mostly bombers, it's got to be said, mostly bombers. Yudi trying to outslow the man himself. 14 T1 bombers around the place, bombing factories, denying NGs, and well, slow bombing a lot of stuff on his own over here. No anti-air is being constructed, no static, no mobile, and NGs are going down. There goes 2. That factory almost dead. A couple more passes and it will go down. But is Low able to kill these bombers? He's only on a move order, not on a patrol or attack move, so the bombers escape. 1 minute says Low. Needs a second to do something. Oh, he's got this drop away on this side and actually has a nice base, and although he loses several NGs to that bomber, he still has 6 around. Oh, never mind, never mind. He has 1 NG. That massively slows down the expansion. If you lose those engineers in your proxy, that is the best way to actually deal with the proxy. You can't bomb it into oblivion. You're not going to be able to do that. What you have to try and do is slow it down. He actually killed the other NG as well, so there's 0 NGs here, and that means there's no more factory production. So Zlo immediately starts replacing those NGs. But again, there's no way he can overtake this at this point without a lot of bombing of his own. Look at how many engineers are here. And he is going to lose some NGs to the tanks. That's nice. That's important for Zlo. Problem is, when you run them in and you're not microing because it's a freaking ditch, you're going to end up running into the middle of factories and waste a lot of shots into buildings. And a lot of NGs getting damaged here, but actually not many went down. Look, the tank keeps hitting different NGs. And the NGs in this expansion are getting bombed. They are getting bombed. 1 remains. No factories constructed here. There is a hydro. That's a mistake in retrospect to have built that hydro and not built a factory, considering that he's now lost all of those NGs. Well, except for this one. This one does live, but 1 NG building a factory that's being bombed is not all that good. Zlo managed to bomb everything in this expansion. It is all gone. Now this expansion is much more easily regained because of this position. I'm still really surprised that Yudi didn't build more factories here. And yeah, a lot of bombers around for Zlo with nice kills. He's also going to bomb the middle. Oh, he's bombing the factory. Needs to take out the NGs and then the middle will be dealt with. Somehow Zlo has a factory here. I have no idea how that works. And the top side, this proxy will continue. I mean, you can see Zlo is replaced. He got 8 NGs there now. Needs Tech 2 land, honestly. I really wish people would just rush Tech 2 land in their base, and I think that's super strong, but people don't agree. Yudi not ecoing at all, really. In terms of Tech 1 mexes, that's all he has. Does putting bombers on NG priority help? I've never tried that, so I honestly don't know the answer to that. Yudi going to try his own proxy. He knows that he's bombed a lot of stuff here. And so he's going to go for it. Oh, Zlo finding more NGs in this expansion. And also, one thing that is a huge difference between these guys is as Yudi looks to be winning hard on the top side, as a lot of factories are not even switched on. Well, a couple of them aren't. Yudi has Navy, and Zlo has no naval production whatsoever. So Navy is automatically already won by Zlo, or by Yudi, sorry. Zlo has Tech 2 on his ACU. This is how Zlo likes to do the ditch. He likes to go Tech 2 on his ACU, build the pigeons with that, and then go Tech 2 into Tech 3 air afterwards, which is totally reasonable. There's actually nothing wrong with doing that. You don't have to go Tech 2 air into Tech 3 air. Speaking of Tech 3 air, that's the HQ finished for Yudi. Yudi is going to, well, he actually does lack space. He can only build the P-gen in one position, where it's adjacent to the HQ. So he's actually not going to do that. He's going to build it here, which is kind of weird. But okay, he's going to just build the first P-gen here, and then he's going to get the grid going over on that side. And yeah, it looks like, yeah, he's definitely going to be able to run over this position. This proxy not going to get too much. I mean, there is reclaim here, significant reclaim that Zlo has taken. The corner not taken at all. Look at all this mass. Look at all that mass. In the middle, Yudi has managed to get several factories up, so he should be safe here as long as he can find the time to queue up some anti-air and then more NGs and stuff. Yudi's proxy is completely bombed. So many bombers on screen here. 14 bombers just took everything out there. Zlo with a PD in the expansion. You can see how he's way behind in this expansion. Most of the reclaim's still here. And Yudi is at 100k mass while Zlo is at 70k. That's a huge difference. And Yudi also now has crucial Tech 2 Navy. He's going to be making UEF cruisers and also shield boats, the odd shield boat to protect them and make them extremely durable versus torpedo bombers. Tech 3 air is reached by Zlo, and he's going to be getting that P-gen up, but Yudi's already ahead, already producing. Tech 3 air, he's probably stalling now. Yeah, see, the thing with the on the ditch is after your Tech 3 P-gen, you can't really make much Tech 3 air. You have to just build the other P-gen. You have to build 2 P-gens before you can really start producing much air. With assistance, you can see even now he's just struggling. The scaling is absurd on this map. Your first Tech 3 P-gen really just powers your base and maybe an unassisted factory. So Yudi stalling heavily before his second P-gen is done. Once he hits that point, he's going to be in a good position. It's also why it's really important to get adjacency on the first P-gen. So there you go. P-gen complete. And a lot of ecoing happening. See, all the mechs here upgrading, or 3 out of 4. These mechs are upgrading. You can definitely start upgrading multiple Tech 3 mechs at this point. He's in an extremely good position. 55 T1 bombers just everywhere on the map. He's got 8 ASF. Is that a... No, those are just inties. And like T1 land spam coming around. There is a Tech 2 land factory for Zlo. And a lot of Tech 2 factories coming up next door. So he's going to be making Riptides. Not the fastest Riptide switch I've ever seen, but at 14 minutes, it's going to be difficult to get that to do much damage. Yudi's going to have a lot at his disposal to deal with that, and of course UEF do not have the hover flak to send with the hover tanks. A lot more Tech 2 factories here. Not sure if Tech 2 land is really going to give him all that much. Tech 1 bombers sniping mass extractors all over his base now, which may have been upgrading. By looking at his economy, that wouldn't surprise me if they were upgrading. Doesn't seem to be any Tech 3 mexes from Yudi just yet. Guess what he is going into? Tech 3 land. And I'm going to be much more interested in Percy's walking across the map than some Riptides scooting across the map. Tech 3 air fight. Or rather, Tech 3 air massacre, as Yudi just sends in his air to dominate. And wouldn't be surprised if we see some Tech 3 gunships or even strap bombers coming from Yudi in the very, very near future. There is a strat under construction in the HQ. It's best... Oh yeah, he's struggling for power again. Needed that third PGen a while ago. It's best to make the aggressive air units in whatever factory, usually the HQ, where you have the engineers assisting you. So you want those things to come out more quickly. So he's going to make a strat, a couple of gunships, and then he's going to go back to ASF. He probably doesn't need to even go back to ASF. We shall see, though. He doesn't want to make any rash decisions, though. Did we lose a cruiser here? No, Yudi kept all of his cruisers alive, protected them from the Riptides, although they did get rather close. So, where's that strat headed? Here it is. It's heading towards the expansion of Zlo. Big mass stall for Yudi right now. That's why you invest in Tech 3 Mexes. So that you have just a more stable income. And yeah, this expansion gonna be targeted down by the Strat Bomber. I don't think he's even going to be microing. We'll see. Maybe he will. But at this point, you don't really need to micro it. You can allow it to just fly around. Obviously, with micro, you can kill the mexes faster, but it's most important that he just, as you can see, has the ASF assisting, and he's just going to go fly back and forth and kill the entire expansion. There's nothing that can take this out. He even gets a free gunship on a bad order there, or a bad rally point. And the T1 bomber spam continues and will never stop. Still a huge amount of mass on Zlo's side, and now he's actually denied from this nice reclaim at the front of his base. He's never grabbed this, and he never will at this stage because Yudi has naval control. And Yudi killing Tech 2 Mexes here. This cruiser ready to be killed. It could easily be killed by Riptides, but there's not quite enough attention being paid by Zlo. Looks like was that micro, or did the bomber lose its order? No, that's a lot of micro from Yudi actually. But now 3 SAMs. At least I think he was microing there. He bombs the SAMs, hits all 3 of them. But goes down. And now Tech 2 and Tech 3 gunships come into the expansion to finish it off. And they can swing to the top side, clean this up, and then Yudi will have a huge amount of map control after that. In this position, you can see Zlo losing a lot of stuff. It looks really, really bad for Zlo. Doesn't seem to have any real advantages going for him. Does have some Riptides in good positions, but again, this... You kind of need those there either a lot earlier or when there's pressure in other points. So if there's only Riptides posing your opponent problems, then it's very easy for them to deal with. Now if there's Riptides and they're fighting Navy and there's an air fight going on and all this kind of stuff, if there's more things happening, then these kind of things can slip past your opponent more easily. But when it's really only Riptides that Yudi has to worry about, and like some T1 bombers. There's a few gunships around. It's a small list of threats that Zlo has right now. Yudi is the one putting the pressure on. He's going to lose probably all of the Tech 2 gunships to the anti-airs, but he has so many, and he has broadswords as well in the mix that it won't matter too much. Yudi does fall away. Doesn't want to waste things inefficiently, and he killed the Tech 2 mechs, killed the factory. Now he can go around and fly around the outlying mexes, which are not defended by static defenses. As Percy's walk into this expansion, the problem here is that Zlo has artillery, and it's very difficult to pay attention to a fight like this. Although Percy's are a big investment, so they should be microed. That's easier said than done when you can zoom out to this far in the map and look at all kinds of things going on. 1,000 moving parts all at once. So now he realizes he's That's actually usually what happens. People lose. They will lose a unit, and at that point, something in their brain is like, "Bro, you just lost to Percy," and they're like, "Oh shit!" Like you hear it die or something, and then you give them a move order. But often, what happens is you give them a one move order, and then you stop paying attention again, and then you lose all of them. So not a good investment there. The 4 Percys are going to be lost for not much gain. In that scenario, what you can do is give them like a zigzag move order. But even at that, they will still target artillery and obviously massively overkill the artillery. So it's not great. Maybe sending some Riptides with the Percys would be a good move, or just getting all these bombers in here to go after that expansion would be good too. As this base now under attack again, Tech 1 bombers coming in. There's been a shield built in the meantime, but that goes down. The bombers absolutely immolate whatever was there. PD, anti-air, it's gone. And this whole expansion will be gone now. It's not. There's a shield being built. I don't see any flak here. There probably was at some point, but this expansion is dead. There's a strap bomber from Zlo, in fact. Where's that going? Got real up close and personal there. And yeah, the T1 bombers come in, and they're actually going to do a better job than the Percys. But now that there's no artillery, Percys can't just walk through and kill these factories in a few shots. Oh, that's a lot of strats for Zlo. What did they just bomb? Or are they just spread in every direction? Maybe they didn't bomb anything. The gunships are really nice from Zlo, I gotta say. He's found significant damage with them, but what about the strats? He's looking for... Is he looking for the ACU? Where is Yudi's commander? There he is in the water. Actually, Yudi's lost all of the build power on his naval factory, which is not good. And he only has 1 cruiser next to him, so he may have to... Oh! Will Zlo find the damage? 2 bombs dropped onto the grid. He needs 1 more bomb to land, and he gets it! He's going to kill both those P-gens and both those factories. That's really nice damage. But if we look at Yudi's eco... Actually, the mass stall is just really huge from Yudi. His ecoing has taken 2nd place to his unit use, and Zlo calls GG after losing all of those strap bombers and not seeing the ACU anywhere. And also, he's lost this expansion and this expansion in the last minute, so he calls GG. He has nothing left at this point. Most of the strats are dead. The gunships can't really do much, and he really only has his main base at this point. And that's it. Zlo loses his first game of the series. It's 2-1 to Yudi. And quite a solid win for Yudi. He never looked under... I mean, it was a hectic first 10 minutes. Maybe more even. But Yudi took control at some point and didn't let go of it. So, if you're enjoying, hit the like button. We're going to continue this series. It's 2-1 to Zlo in the best of 5. So, it's time to see the next game, which is going to be on Twin Rivers. Good night, Ryan. See you next time. At some point, I'll have an earlier stream for you, I promise. So we got more Cybern from Zlo. And he was Cybern in the Bermuda Locket game, and Yudi is gone for Seraphim again. Javi, do you actually use that list for stuff? I use other playlists to actually save videos I want to watch again. At some point. Potentially. So I don't really get it. So Zlo goes first NG, second lab. Very quick lab from Zlo. He's against the Seraphim player, so no labs for them. Just the Celine. Actually, 2 labs from Zlo already out. And a scout. Now, where's he gonna go? That's the question. Zlo moving to the back with the first engineer. There's a nice bit of reclaim that you grab on your way to the back base. There's also, by the way, there's a rock under the big rock. Oh yeah, I forgot the labels don't work here. See this rock? Don't forget it. Zlo's missed it this time. That's a little bit of secret knowledge. So Zlo has split his NGs, by the way, or his lab. So one's gonna go here. Well, that's a interesting order. He's looking for Selines with that one. And the other lab is going to come down through here and look to kill this NG. Also, should be mentioned that Zlo is heading to the reclaim in the middle of the map already. And he also has, is that a lab? Yes, yet another lab for Zlo. So this lab is spotted by the Celine. That's why Yudi sent it backwards. Didn't want to lose the Celine to the lab. And Zlo's gonna head over here and aim for this NG. You can see he wants to finish the mechs and then run away, save the NG. Should probably run back towards his main base here and rally the tank down to here so that the lab won't get through. The lab on this side also just screened away. Both of them can see what the other has. They both have a scout around. And that tank defends, and Yudi's going to quickly grab this expansion. That's quite a quick expansion compared to Zlo, especially. He's not even close to that position. And Zlo had an attack move on his lab. And, oh, he may actually get the kill anyway. If he keeps dodging here, he may get the kill. And that's a lot of clicks. Oh my god, that's actually ridiculous. I mean, Yudi was doing well there, but he should not have lost that engineer. The lab goes down. He had queued up manual reclaim on all of these rocks here with that lab. And actually, speaking of damage that should not be possible, he actually sneaks past the Tham. So Yudi was tracking both these labs at the same time and doing a good job, but now he's managed to lose both of them, and actually Zlo is the one who runs out of attention at this point, and he's actually going to lose his lab to the Celine. Oh, survives on low HP and then gets shot by the Tham, so that lab did not get any damage done. And now Yudi is going to be attacking into the expansion. He scouts ahead of himself, sees that there's 2 units here. A tank and a lab, and tries to run past it. On the front, the lab finds more damage. For Zlo, he's made quite a few labs here, and they've done quite well for him. And Zlo has managed to get a lot of the reclaim in this position, and now he will go down. You lose that NG to a Celine. Oh, 2 Thams running straight past the defenders. And they're going to find this NG. Oh, he's going to try and block shots. The NG can build fast enough. You can see the health rising as the Tham shoots into the factory. Now Yudi realizes what's going on. And the second Tham is actually the one that gets the killing blow. And that Tham needs to be followed, because if he doesn't follow it, it's going to get out of range. He's blocked by his own mechs, which allows the Tham to get potentially into the back base, but oh, there's another Mantis here to defend. He does actually lose the lab though, and there's more tanks coming in, so plenty of aggression, plenty of things, plenty of damage avoided. A nice opening play from these guys. Solid use of their units, and intel is a key thing. Now I'd love to have a scout patrolling in different positions. 2 land factories at the back actually, which is quite nice, and they can actually just, these land factories will just stop the raids that come into the back with ease. Zlo also going to win an air fight, but the problem for Zlo is this expansion. It's so disjointed. He's lost a lot of time there, and meanwhile Yudi has had this for a while. He has a factory there as well, and he's just finishing off the last mechs, and has actually queued up all this reclaim manually, or at least most of it, which is quite impressive. Pretty annoying lab at the back, but it's on a move order, so it's just going to run past things and tickle them on the way, pretty much. Air factory at the back and some power production. I don't think this lab will actually get any kills unless the micro starts happening. Oh, he got reclaimed by Yudi. Yudi managed to get him. Nice one. Yudi also with a very nice position for the commander. He's pushed all the way up and got the 2 mexes in front of Zlo's expansion. And overall just has a nice position on the map. Now, few units wasted there. Zlo with a huge army on the top side. And now Yudi might want to just run away here, because if we look at his unit count, he's got 36, and he's got about 10 with him on the top side, 10 on the bottom side. The rest of them are back in his expansion in his base. Meanwhile, Zlo has 30 units very close to the ACU, and his own ACU is quite nearby. So yeah, Yudi just falling back here, does not want to get caught. You can quickly get caught on this map, especially against Mantis, which are the fastest Tech 1 main tanks. Zlo, well, okay. I was clicking on this expecting a transport, and instead I see that he's making Tech 2 air already. He actually already has a transport here. He's just dropped the bottom plateau. He's got a scout on the other side to see exactly when Yudi arrives. It's very common to send your inties across to the expansion before you land there, just to clear up any scouts or bombers. Tech 2 land is the choice, the most common choice, and it is the choice of Yudi in this case. He's assisting it, 86% right now. And slightly behind in the expansion to the island, but not much at all. Radar goes up for Zlo, and he's struggling for power, so he actually switches it off immediately. Okay, turns it back on. He probably has finished Tech 2 Air then. Yep. As soon as you finish Tech 2 Air, you get a nice bit of power, because it does drain a lot as you upgrade. A few wasted units on the bottom side. He tries a run by, but it's very ambitious, and Yudi's ready. He's going to collect those for free. And Yudi gets his drop away. Zlo going to counter with 6 Mantis. Problem is, where's Yudi's inties? Oh, he's found some. Will he? No, he's not actually paying attention here. I think he will be sending his inties in this direction to try and just clear the airspace before his transport lands. If not, he's going to be in trouble. This is a huge waste of units. In fact, this entire army goes down and kills virtually nothing. There's a dead 1, 2, 3 dead Thams maybe. That is a terrible fight, and puts him at a massive disadvantage now in terms of units. He went to send his inties in. Let's see, is Yudi's Air Force here? Well, no, he's only got 3 inties on patrol. That's not going to stop the Mantis that land here. Huge mass stall as well for Yudi. Should have baited slightly once the Tech 2 P-Gen is finished. But some very nice fights here. I mean, this fight especially is huge, and he's got an engineer there ready to reclaim. Tech 2 air is revealed now. Yudi has 11 inties. Nothing wrong with 11 inties, but it's very similar to what Zlo has. So Zlo really needs to get some more inties on the field. He has finished the Tech 2 Pigeon now. I would expect multiple air factories to go up around that. Also, same thing for Yudi. That's a very common thing to do, is once you get your Tech 2 Pigeon, get some factories up adjacent to it. Now, Yudi can't do that in this case. But instead, he's going to put that power into the gun upgrade, which is definitely another good option. The Mantis all found a PD to run into and went down. Another drop lands. This time it has 4 Mantis and 2 NGs, so still no Medusa. Gunship on the bottom side kills an NG. Yudi drops some NGs to steal reclaim, and it was actually successful, I think. Zlo with no upgrades, and Yudi is going to have a nice advantage with the gun now. He starts marching forward. Alright, see you, Forte. Thanks for tuning in. There are 4 Tech 2 mechs for Zlo. Overall, Yudi with just a small advantage in mass. But has the Tech 2 air done very much for Zlo? I'm not sure it has. And Yudi has reacted. You can see his air production is significantly increased. He's up to almost 30 inties now, 29. Has Zlo increased his inti production greatly? No, he hasn't. He really hasn't. So very unlikely that Tech 2 air is going to do very much for him now. He hasn't landed any Tech 2 drops. So he also does not have the gun. He's making it now. So not sure that Zlo is really in a good position here. It looks pretty nice for Yudi now. With the Tech 2 land advantage, he has air control. And he could even go Tech 2 air himself at this point. Especially after he gets the second Tech 2 Pigeon. No, I'm not sure what the pathfinding is there. But he's marching forward, taking control of some mexes. What's up, David? Welcome to the stream. And there's even some flak mixed in, so any rogue gunships can be dealt with pretty easily. For now, it's just out of range, or perhaps it's out of vision range. And there goes the gunship, yeah. Doesn't even need the flak here. Oh, we could have a very nasty air fight, and the flak also contributing. Still no Tech 2 land from Zlo. And his gun is finished, but Yudi's in range of him now. Piling on the pressure, firing off the overcharges, and he's got a big army with a lot of Tech 1 and some Tech 2 mixed in there. This does not look good for Zlo. He sends his units forward to screen for his ACU, which is usually a sign you're under pressure. That's a lot of wasted Mantis there. They're not getting good trades. The Medusa as well, especially, being wasted. Yudi can park his air inside the base. A lot of inties just got knocked out of the sky there. Maybe Medusa hit them in mid-air. I think that's the only thing that could have happened. And Zlo getting completely surrounded now by chicken bots and thams. He's not going to survive this one for very long. Cerberus turrets going up. There's 2, 3 now constructed. Those will provide some... Oh, the bombers come in and finish Zlo off. Tech 1 bombers in the end provide the killing blow, but he was already very low HP. PDs helped, but they were too little too late. And Yudi himself is just tanking the laser fire. He has loads of HP left. And Yudi wins and takes us level 2-2 in this series now, after Zlo took a 2-0 lead. Very nice game. Well played. I think the Tech 2 air switch did not pay off at all for Zlo. He also had chances to maybe take over this position, but I think yeah, the Tech 2 air just did not work out for him. He didn't get much done with it. And now we have the final game of the series. And it looks like a map gen game. It looks like a map gen game. The question is, what size will it be? What size will it be? It could be 5x5, 10x10, or 20x20. Don't forget to hit like if you're enjoying. It's 5x5. Oh, okay. Let's take a look at this. Let's hit the reclaim button there. Okay, we got some reclaim, about 2k. But in small rocks, not highly concentrated, quite spread out. Not much in the middle either. Who's my favorite to win the tourney? Ah, well, the tourney's already over, so I would have said before the tourney the favorite would be Tagada. I won't spoil the result though. So Yudi, oh wait, what? Oh, he's got a hydrocarbon. Never mind. I was like, wait, he's built two mexes before any pigeons. And I scroll down slightly, and he has a hydrocarbon, of course. Both these players are UEF. Not sure why they go for UEF here, but they do. They like UEF. Not that they're bad. Just I just don't get the rationale exactly. Maybe they went for UEF and Seraphim and ban Seraphim. So Brenna, 2 labs from Zlo. That's not very fair, Paulie. Whatever happened to Lujan? Nah, he just doesn't play very much anymore. Oh no, oh no, that's a huge loss there. There's no way that NG should have survived, but he actually, that's some bad micro from Zlo. I'm gonna go ahead and say that. That was a big error there to get reclaimed by that NG. That should not happen. Now will he gain some retribution and get this engineer kill? Well, there's a striker here that he's gonna have to run towards. The striker runs forward. The engineer looks like he's escaping. The mech is microing like crazy, but there's reclaim now in the way, so he does get the kill on the NG just before the lab goes down. But this NG should not be alive, and he's providing some nice reclaim, and also the lab should be alive as well on the bottom side, which would force tanks to be around here chasing it. Now the tanks can move across the map, so that was not the best opening from Zlo there. He needed more from those labs, I gotta say. I'm quite surprised he allowed that lab on the bottom to be reclaimed. So we have, oh, Yudi moving across the map much quicker. So this is a 5x5 map. It must be known that if you have a clean run to your opponent's base, you're quite close to each other, so you're horizontal, you probably want to run into your opponent's base. Doubly so if there's water, but no water on this map. But and this doesn't count as having water on the map. But yeah, Yudi goes to run across the map. He also tried to build this mechs, but Zlo denied him. And the fights will take place in the extremities for now. Zlo investing in 3 Lobos, and maybe those are just to help him fight the enemy ACU. You can micro the Lobos back and forth. That looks like a nice 2v1 there for Zlo. You can micro the Lobos back and forth to stay out of range of the ACU, so I think that's why he mixed in some Lobos there. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's not like having Zuis, but it's alright. Yudi just going to retreat from this position. He has most of his army here, maybe half of it. And Zlo pushing forward. He is using the Lobos, as I said, to fight the enemy commander, now retreating back. Very nice kill for that lab. Denying the mechs and reclaim afterwards. But now the forces gather in the center for Yudi, and Zlo needs to switch his target fire onto units ASAP. He wasted some chances there to take out a few units. At least one or two tanks should have gone down for Yudi there, but he actually got away without any going down. And it's important to take away the units and to give yourself some veterancy that way. So, bit of a missed opportunity there, a bit of miss micro, I'd say, from Zlo to continue attacking the ACU. And now Zlo's regrouped most of his units into the center, and Yudi has actually regrouped them away from the center, so maybe Yudi will be pushed back now. Yudi comes in and he's going to shave off a few units from Zlo, but he needs to be really careful there because he doesn't have the units with him. He has so many units on the bottom side, and now Zlo, is he moving in? Is he not moving in? It's hard to know. No, he allows Yudi to get out of range again. This is the tension in these 5x5s where you're just directly against each other and there's like one, maybe two battles going on at any time. The Lobos from Zlo, he's really invested in quite a lot of Lobos and he's kept them alive. You can see they actually survive because they have 205 HP. It takes 3 shots from an AC to kill them. They have the most HP of any Tech 1 RDs, so they're quite nice versus the commander. And it, like, any shot not dodged is a win for Zlo. It's going to be several hundred damage. Oh, this could be a very dangerous fight. Why are there so many units here battling in this particular corner of the map where there really is nothing to fight for? It's really strange positioning of his units by Yudi, and like he's basically generating a reclaim field. Unless he takes an extremely good trade, I don't really see how it's worth it to fight there. Generating a reclaim field here, and Zlo sends an engineer over there on an attack move to take it. Very little to fight for. Virtually nothing to fight for. You have the corner mechs here and here, and other than that, I mean, the mechs are in the center and in the base. That's not really attackable. It's right next to the base as well. Zlo with the big HP advantage in the middle. Almost 9k HP versus about 4k. Sorry, 5k for Yudi. And now, oh, he got hit by some Lobo shells there. And again, they disengage briefly. Zlo takes the time to grab a couple of wrecks, as does Yudi. And now Zlo moves back in. He has the HP advantage. And that is a huge advantage to have. Both players now with most of their forces connected in the center, supporting their commanders. And it's going to be about micro. Yudi with good micro here, getting kills on the Lobos. Actually, he's not getting kills, he's getting damage, but the Lobos are actually escaping on 5 HP. And now both ACUs in range of each other. Yudi has to be so careful here. He's down at 4k. Where's those tanks going? Whoa, big swing to the right from Yudi, sending a huge force over to the right hand side to raid a single Tech 1 mechs. Again, I don't understand this maneuver exactly, but Zlo has reacted with everything to that side. And look, Zlo taking this reclaim here. Who do you think is going to take this reclaim, guys? Oh, Shift G order, and there's Lobos around. Careful with the artillery, they could get some very nice splash kills. There's a few nice kills there, and Zlo's winning this fight in the top side. Yudi is going to push through the middle because, I mean, Zlo sent so much in that direction. Lobo shells with the fadeaway shots. And now Yudi moving into the belly of the beast here, as Zlo's units are trying to get back, but there's some awkward terrain that they have to run around. And Yudi starts backing away again. And he's going to try and get a good trade over here, but leaving himself without many units. Yeah, he changes his mind, brings some back. Zlo getting some more nice kills. which one of them will hit veterancy first. They're both dead even on veterancy as well. This game just so even, despite the fact that Yudi has given some reclaim on Slow's side. They're still basically dead even on reclaim. In terms of mexes, Yudi may have 1 extra or 2 extra at this point. Slow moving forward very aggressively. He may just bait Yudi into sending some tanks after him. Yeah, he's getting some unit kills. On the top side, the skirmishes continue, but the Slow has the better army, and he's using the Lobos really well. Mixing in the Lobos, I think, has been the main difference between these guys. Yudi has not invested in any. Now we have a shift G order, which concentrates the DPS so strongly in one position that Slow actually just gets a nice trade there. And still, Yudi has a huge HP disadvantage. He has not bridged that gap. So Yudi gonna, desperate for mass, gonna try and grab all the wrecks he can in the middle. I mean, he can't really, can you really step forward and start taking these wrecks? It's super dangerous to do that when you're on 3,500 HP. And you definitely can't do it when you've sent your units to the sides. This surely can't be a good trade. There's more and more reclaim lit here, and it's Low that has the NG in the right position. Just like this guy over here. And now Slow might be able to just push forward again. The Lobos. Do not underestimate the Lobos. Oh, Yudi took some shots from them, that's for sure. He's down to 1,300 HP. He is absolutely desperate for a veterancy. He's Low already over, well into his first veterancy. So he's definitely taken the lead on that front. And now it might be time for Slow to retreat, because Yudi is looking for the draw right now. And Slow is dropping very low. If he drops below 2,500, and Yudi is going to control K, that's for sure. Slow down to 3,500, but there's no more units in range of him. And Yudi says GG just before he explodes. And Slow escapes with 3k HP. He got, well, he escaped with less and got the second veterancy. So he escaped with about 1,000 HP. Nice pigeons there for Slow. And that was an intense 5x5 game where it was very, well, it was all about using your units, getting the little bit of reclaim. And Slow being ahead on, Slow just played it better really. He got ahead on ACU health, which is a huge factor. I mean, directly, it's one of the most important factors in these 5x5 battles. So he took the lead in that regard, and elsewhere, I mean, he made better decisions. I mean, he's fighting on his turf here, getting reclaim. Over here, he was getting good trades and getting good reclaim, and I think, yeah, Yudi's use of his units wasn't quite as good, really, because, I mean, just looking at the map, there's nothing to fight for. There really is nothing to fight for. If you look at the mexes, right, they're all here in this square. You can, that's your half of the map, and then there's just one outlier mex over here. And you can't afford to invest a lot into fighting for that when you can fit every bit of 99% of the relevant map control is here in this small box in the center of the map, and your AC is going to be here fighting, and that kind of covers everything. You can't run past here. It's very quick to react. You just send some units stone's throw away to the top. So the flanking, not really not really good maneuvers there for Yudi, but the problem is that you're like, oh, I have to do something. What am I supposed to do here? I think the Lobos were really good for his low. I think they helped greatly. And Yudi should have. Very often you see people just react and say, "Oh, my opponent's doing this, I'm gonna do it as well." But in this case, Yudi just stuck to to tanks only. Never built a Lobo that I could ever see, and I think that was a mistake for Yudi in retrospect. So nicely played by Zlo, and he wins the semi-final and goes to the final. Definitely not a favorite to go to the final pre-tournament. He's looking pretty. He wasn't looking at his best. Zlo is a very up and down player, but definitely on form here. It's good. It's impressive to take out Yudi. He's very strong in 1v1s now. So well played to both of them. That was a really good series. So I think tomorrow we'll do the other semi-final. We hit about 2 hours. We'll do the other semi-final tomorrow. And let's see. Yeah. So hit like if you enjoyed, guys, and I think we'll leave it there for now. So we had a good crowd today. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. You can check out the Patreon and stuff if you're interested. Download FAF if you don't know what this is. It's forgeallianceforever.com. So go check it out, and I'll see you all tomorrow for the other semi-final, Tagada versus Paralon. That should be a fun one, and we'll see you then. Have a good one, guys.